Hello and welcome to video related to types of table. In previous videos on primary keys and foreign key, you have heard me talk about data tables and lookup tables. However, I did not provide you more details in that video. Also, in subsequent videos, we have learnt about normalization of data and 3 rules of normalization. When all of these 3 rules are followed and we have our normalized data set, what we get is data distributed across multiple tables. Now these tables can be separated into 2 main categories called as data table and lookup table. This bifurcation will help us in presenting the tables so that we can appropriately identify what relationships can be created and how the information is flowing between these tables. It also helps us to build more robust understanding about these tables and our data models. This understanding will then also help us while creating DAX formulas to perform analysis. So let us quickly understand how to identify these tables as data tables and lookup tables. First of all, let us understand the characteristics for each one of them. First, let us start with data tables or fact tables. These tables are also known as fact tables, transaction tables. These tables contain information related to transactions that have occurred at various times during the period. It might be multiple times a day, daily, weekly, monthly, and so on. In previous video for normalizing datasets, we have sales tables that contains details of individual transactions that have occurred during the 3-year period. Some other examples of data tables include budgets, exchange rates, exam results, stock counts, and so on. Now, data tables can consist millions or even billions of rows of data. Hence, these tables might be the largest table you would load into Power BI. However, this table would contain more number of records or number of rows as compared to the number of fields or columns. Since these tables contains transactional level data, we will be using it to analyze our aggregation and summarizing it to gain more insights. There is no limit on how often similar transaction can occur and be stored in the data table. So let us have a look at our sales table from previous video directly in our Power BI desktop. Now under this sales table, you can see that there could be literally hundreds of transactions for each day that are all but identical because the same bike model can be sold multiple times on a given day. In this event, there will be many transactions with the same date and same product code as well. We will see more about this in relationship in later part of this video. So now let us get back to our deck. And last but not the least, characteristics for this is like these tables are being named using a plural form of a particular noun. So it might be a sales, returns, exchange rates, etc. So with that, now let us understand about lookup table. Now lookup tables are also known as dimensions tables, reference tables, master data tables, or so on. These tables contains the metadata about the objects or attributes we are going to analyze. In our previous videos, we had products, product subcategory, category, and customers tables as our lookup tables. Details inside these tables will help us slice and dice the transaction data for various data tables. Lookup tables tend to be smaller than the data tables with fewer rows and often can be wider with more columns. The rule of thumb is that to load one lookup table for each object or dimension you want to analyze. This is both efficient for database to process and even easy for users to understand. Fields from these tables are used inside filters, slicers, or row or column area to a matrix or x-axis in the chart visuals. These values help us to bifurcate into various values the aggregation done on the data tables. A key feature of lookup tables is that it contains only one row for individual item in the table, and it has many columns as needed to describe that object or attribute. Hence, these tables are on the one side of relationship between the tables. So let us now look at some tables in our Power BI desktop. So now here you can see that we have a customers table. Now here there will be only one row unique for each particular customer in this customers table. If you recall in our previous video, we have removed the duplicates using the customer key so that we have only one single customer appearing in this table. The customer table has lots of columns describing each customer, such as customer number key, customer name, email ID, and so on. But there is only one row for each of the customer. Each row is unique based on the customer number, and there are no duplicates for a customer key are allowed. If you think about it, this is the way it has to be. There would be chaos if a business used to have the same customer key for a different customer. The same is true for the products category or a products code as well. So with that, let us go back to our deck now. And at last, I hope you would have already guessed what will be the next characteristics. It is always a best practice to give a singular names to these kind of tables like customer, product, etc. So with that, I hope it is now crystal clear to you what is the data table and lookup table. So see you guys in next video.